I saw you in like Aurora or something, like way outside Chicago with Nick and Joe Walker, and the fire alarm was going off during the show.
Oh my God! Yes, it was.
Did
It
you
was.
keep performing or did you stop the show?
You remember, Corey?
Uh, it kept going, and then eventually it just stopped.
Yeah, yeah. We performed right through it. We shouted over it.
Yep. And then
Live theater,
yeah,
baby.
and like
Fires be
the
damned.
woman who was like really shouting because her mic was
Fires be-
also like not working.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We were shouting not over the fire alarm, but over the sound guy who didn't turn our mics on.
Oh my God.
And some of my best friends are sound guys, and I don't mean to speak ill of sound guys, okay? Because a lot of times actors are like my
Or
shit.
girls.
Sound people.
Sound people.
Sound people. You're right. Because on that tour, actually, it was a woman, it was a girl who came in and fixed everything.
Yeah. But you were about to say something mean.
Which is usually the case.
Or that shitty sound guy. Who I wish nothing but the best to and hope he's doing very well. But
Sure.
we were not only shouting over the fire alarm, but over, the microphones that were just not turned on.
Show there was like some set piece that would not fit, like they couldn't get it, and you just like cut the whole scene.
That happened all the time. Like it's Young Frankenstein, the bookcase.
Yeah, was it like was the revolving like thing?
Yeah, the revolving bookcase, exactly, where he goes, put the candle back, right? Where they're doing that whole bit where he puts the candle in the door, twists, but then he gets caught in it, and she's like, where does he go? And then he comes back, right? So it's a whole iconic scene. The whole audience knows the movie. They're all there because they love the movie and they're waiting to see it. And we would play these, theaters that would just we'd have no business. Like they were still trying to fit a Broadway set into like, Peoria or somewhere,
Oh man.
And there just wouldn't be loading docks half the time. And so you would literally just have a regular door that you'd be trying to squeeze your whole set in. So we'd show up at like 5 p.m. and they'd be like, okay, guys, today we got 2 drops. So we're just going to do the putting on the Ritz drop and the black drop. And all the other drops are cut and the bookcase is cut. And this set piece. So instead of the whole bookcase scene, just look off stage right and say, look, Inga, a secret passageway, and then just walk off stage musicless, come around and enter into the next.
Oh my God.
Whoa. That
Whoa.
was 9 long months. Like at the Civic Arts Plaza, we were there a full week, and that was like vacation.
That was when you were drinking Coca-Cola a lot, right?
That was
You were drinking Coca-Cola a lot. I remember you'd be like, yeah, like wake up and have a soda in the morning.
3 or 4 a day, absolutely. Yeah, terrible. My teeth
Beautiful.
will never recover. I don't drink soda anymore though. That's been a few years now. Had to cut that.
That's a good thing. I think soda should be illegal. I'll say it.
Whoa, bro.
Oh.
I don't care.
Okay. All right, Brian. We're only 15 minutes in, man. You gotta say
Careful,
this for the last.
big soda like sponsors our podcast. So like,
Yeah,
chill
big
out.
soda.
I was just going to be a friendly chat with friends, and
Yeah, then Brian comes in saying soda should be
Listen,
illegal.
it's as dangerous as vaping.
finally going to do this. I'm going to live in New York and start get an apartment, and then I got cast as the standby for Book of Mormon right when I was writing Twisted. So I went out to Chicago. That's how that whole journey started. 5.5 years later, after doing every conceivable company of the Book of Mormon, I got spit out and didn't know what to do with myself.
Just covered in saliva. Just like, oh.
Yeah, exactly, basically. And so I rented an apartment and put the poster as the only piece of art on the wall.
Perfect.
But it paid for everything. So
Sure. God bless it.
God bless.
It afforded you the opportunity to work on South Park for a season, which is the coolest thing.
That was pretty great.
Fucking God, that's so crazy.
Cool.
It was just, I remember when that season was premiering, and I would watch the credits, because the credits, their credits also move so fast.
Okay.
Like it's just like beep beep beep. So I'd always try to pause it on the writers' room part, and it would just be like you, Bill Hader, and Josh Gad, and it was like, that's so crazy. It was good company.
There you go, the 3 funniest people in the world, and I don't say that sarcastically.
I love you. What was I doing taking up air in that room though? That's all I could think, like the entire season was just, what am I doing here? and how dare I open my mouth?
But don't you think at a certain point
where I go like, you know what, I feel like I've had my 10,000 hours or whatever, like I feel good as a performer. I feel I have a set of tools that if I walk out on stage with nothing, I have enough like literacy and comfortability in this arena that I can make something happen. But when I'm sitting in a room alone by myself and I'm trying to write a song, that is when the imposter syndrome comes up, because it is just like, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember we were finishing up Star Kid Homecoming and you were leaving like in a week and a half from that to go to.
No, I was leaving the next day.
You left the next day?
I didn't go to Darren's house. I left the following morning.
Yeah. Talk about like whiplash between being in one situation and then suddenly going like, now you're just here.
Talk about the movie Something Times Plus.
Yeah. And I did not, as you remember, like the night of Homecoming, I was like reveling in that glow and going like, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow and I do not have a show. I don't have a little bit of a show.
That's phenomenal. But it's like, not to stroke your ego or anything, but it's like, of all people who I have confidence could pull that off, you're like one of a small handful of people who could do that.
Thanks. I mean, I definitely love that reputation, and I always.
But it's stressful.
It's stressful. It's horrendous. But it's not like I don't know. The joke of my life has always been like, man, what if he tried? Like, what if he actually tried? What is he capable of? We may never know, As the character, instead of like I was trying to work out all my issues on stage, which no one wants to watch anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a little too raw.
Yeah, like you're writing a show, pay a therapist, write a show, and
yeah.
I met one of my producers. It's like the night I arrived in Edinburgh, named Kayla Drummond, and she's 23 and fucking brilliant. And I told her I didn't have a show, and I was talking about it. And like I had Zach Zucker and other guys who run Stamptown, and we were all smoking weed and hanging out, drinking.
Zach Zucker's so insane.
God.
Yes, he's amazing and insane. But like they were all sort of spitballing about my show, and it was like, very like bunch of guys in a room like having ha-has. And Michaela, and which I love, obviously. Hello. And but Michaela started being like, I think really the point of the show is your relationship with your mother and how that transitions to this and how you feel like you're on. And I'm like, oh, like she saw through what I was trying to say, and she started putting Post-it notes up on the wall and like actually giving it a picture and looking at me as a character. And that night I was like, will you be my director? Because I can't do this without you. And she said yes. And then we stayed up for like 72 hours and did it. I'm like, songs.
Love it, man.
I did my whole tech, by the way, before that happened. Okay.
Oh, so you're teching and you're like, okay, and
the lights will come on here.
Lights up and lights down. That's it.
Yeah. And I brought, oh my God. Do you guys remember I had all my hand pans?
Yeah. Does this have to do with,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're fun little guys. They're,
wow.
They're very fun. And I had 3 of them in different keys. And I thought, I'll just bring them all because I have no show. So I can figure out something to do on each one of these hand pans. And if that's like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but that's 15 minutes already. 3 hand pans, right? I got to fill the hour. So I paid so much money in extra baggage to bring all 3 of them in separate hard cases and then set them up for the tech. They're very fun. And I had 3 of them in different keys. And I thought, I'll just bring them all because I have no show. So I can figure out something to do on each one of these hand pans. And if that's like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but that's 15 minutes already. 3 hand pans, right? I got to fill the hour. So I paid so much money in extra baggage to bring all 3 of them in separate hard cases and then set them up for the tech. And then tried it one night. I like improvised something on a handpan and tried to talk about my life, and it bombed horrendously. And they never went back in the show.
That's funny.
Did you? Yeah, because I was gonna say, I was like, those were definitely not in the LA version that we saw.
No, because they're not funny.
I mean, they could be funny. Maybe you just didn't try hard enough.
Say that. The only way we found.
And you were in the middle of doing the show in Adelaide, right? The Adelaide Fringe.
Yeah, that bumped right up against all this chaos. Yeah. And I had 2 weeks scheduled at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, but the whole festival got canceled.
When did you realize that things were serious?
I was living in blissful denial a little longer than people over here because Australia is an island and far less populated and just didn't have nearly a series of cases, especially in South Australia where I was in Adelaide. Adelaide's already reopened and fine. Like, really just maybe should have stayed in Adelaide, and we definitely considered it. It's
or jump over to New Zealand.
Yeah, if you could get in. But yeah, so we went off. The Comedy Fest got canceled, so me and my director Michaela and our friend Kelly, who was also going to be our sound tech for Melbourne, all rented some houses together in the Grampians and like beautiful national parks and like by the beach. And just like mom's boyfriend has a connection to the flight industry. And so called us at like 4 a.m. being like, book your tickets right now. And it was like trying to book concert tickets. Like you would load your cart with a plane ticket and then you would go to buy it and it'd be like, sorry, no longer available.
Yeah.
And I finally found this flight through Honolulu that I booked like separate itineraries on budget airlines just the last day.
Yeah.
And it was only because I was flying against the date line that if I had showed up, like if the date had flipped over to the next day in Hawaii, I would have had to do a 2-week quarantine in Honolulu. Like worst things.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That really sucks, AJ.
So quarantine's been really hard on me, you guys. This whole situation has affected me mostly. And